Hey guys, it's Avengel. Welcome back to the channel. And this beauty is Miltech Simulations MH60. And that's Sedona Airport. Yeah, it's not the aircraft. This is the aircraft. Yeah. And this is the MH60 model. Like I said, we have the Sierra, Romeo and Tango variants with 39 liveries. Like, look at all this loads. You've got the classic Seahawk with the tail wheel right up close. The kind of regular layout with the tail wheel up far. And you have the search and rescue variant that the Coast Guard like to use too. So some crazy options there. We have autopilot functionality, stability augmentation, flight model, tested by real MH60 crews. We have weapon systems, acoustic elements, external loads. It's a lot like their Chinook in that regard. They have a bunch of extra features here. Comprehensive simulation of the systems, avionics key set. You need to start this the right way. Virtual crew chief with audio calls to guide the pilot on operations, especially for things like SAR missions and vertical operations. Support for flight planning, etc. Got audio by Echo 19. Real recordings from General Electric T700s from an operational MH60, which is super cool. This is £30, so not cheap. You better like helicopters. What is the Blackhawk? Well, I'm glad you asked. The Blackhawk is a 4-blade twin-engine medium-lift military utility aircraft manufactured by Sikorsky. Now, it was for the Army's tactical transport competition in 1972, and it became the winner in 76. It was manufactured from 74 onwards. It was introduced in 1979. They're still operating in service today, whether it's civilian S-70s or now civilian Blackhawks as well from the military. But we have the Mitsubishi ones, license built for Japan. We have the MH series, the HH series, SHs, Seahawks, Pavehawks, Jayhawks, everything you can think of. I believe the version for the Coast Guard is the Jayhawk. I believe. Yeah, the Jayhawk, the MH60 Jayhawk. Yes, so, either way, we have the Air Force's Pave, Navy Seahawk, Coast Guard's Jayhawk, all the Hawks you could possibly imagine. So, a fantastic aircraft. In terms of its specifications, this is an M model, which is not necessarily for all of them. Cruising around 152 knots, max speed around 160, combat range of 320-ish nautical miles, ferry range 1900 with drop tanks, service ceiling up to 19,000 feet. An incredibly capable aircraft, capable of mounting all manners of unhealth care to hard points, to the doors, to the windows, to the ceiling, to the floor. It can take hydras, it can take hellfires, it can take stingers. It can take much of your life away. Go watch Black Hawk Down, where there were Blackhawks that went down. It's fantastic. Anyway, enough of this fuss. Let's go take a look at the aircraft, shall we? The texturing is very detailed here, and this is off the bush. And as this is in 2024, it's 20 and 2024. In 24, we have the native features like our chocks and our covers. Look at this. I love it. So much detail. Open the doors, open the side windows. We want all the things open. This is our helicopter. We want everything open. It's the appropriate way to fly a US military aircraft. There we go. Okay. Texturing is rather pretty, I will say. Hey, I even dressed myself up in proper military uniform today for this. Flight suit, there we go. We look appropriate to fly. Okay, looking good. We'll hop on in. We can do the door, or we can just go boop. Now, I believe if I'm in the cockpit now, I should have my bone dome on. I do. My helmet is fixed. Okay, let's get this thing started up. But first around, this is our interior. Now, we have some controls down here, including... This is one thing I hate. Now, they actually mount the tablet in the actual aircraft, giving us things. They could give us a little app to control all of this stuff. Here is where you control things like missions, documents, weaponry, doors. It's complicated and a little annoying, if I'm honest, because it gets right in the way sometimes. Getting to some of these is quite irritating. We've got windows, we've got the cockpit doors. Am I showing the co-pilot? That's the door. Oh, I could delete the doors. Well, let's do that. No one needs doors, do they? Interesting how the mount for the wing mirror is still here. That seems like a whoopsie, if I'm honest. That you can remove the door, but the mirror, which is clearly attached to it, is still there. On both sides. Minor oversight by the developers, I suspect. I'll put those back on for now. because that looked a bit weird. And we'll go back to here. Go to weapons. We'll put our 240 Bravos in the door. And we can put on our pods right there. Right now equipped with Hellfires. Take those off. Now to get these actually out there, where they belong. Ready to introduce people to freedom in metric. They're now out of our gunner's windows. Would like some 134s, but these will have to do. So yeah, all these functions are a little bit cramped on this control panel, which is why I would have loved them to be in an app on the tablet. They could have had the same functions, much easier to affect and to mess with, especially when you're flying this thing. This becomes quite limited in terms of actually accessing and playing with things. Not ideal, if you see what I mean. Right, okay, let's get started, shall we? The important parts. So up here, our APU is going to go on. So I'm going to want to put my APU to boost on fuel pump. Battery to on. APU control on. APU generator to on. And while this all works, so make sure our main journeys are on, our master ignition's on. Roll these to their start positions. We are skipping 1 or 3 steps, but we know what to do here. I had someone who knows the Blackhawk teach me how to do this stuff, so we are good to go for the quick start. If you want to go through the actual manuals and everything, you can do exactly that. I'm going for the fast mode. Not all of these things are necessary, but in some cases it does help. Stability control, don't want to use that right now. We can try it later, but we're not going to do it right now. So everything is ready as it should be. Let's make sure our displays are engaged. That's why day and night mode is quite useful, because it gets very bright at times. That's our documents thing there, so I can hide that by pressing that. And get our systems. Let's go for a start, shall we? Everything should, if I recall, be correct here. Engine 1. Engine 2. Spin this thing up and see what happens. Oh, pitot heat as well. Sounds are very good. It does sound very nice. SFS off, that should go back on again. Stabilizer is... We'll turn the stabilizer on for now. Hydraulic pumps, there we go. Watching everything coming up to level here. Should just take a bit of time to warm up. Turbine gas temps coming up. NP1 pipe temps are moving now. So what have we got down here? We've got our various displays we want to use here. Including FLIR, maps, flight plans, yada yada yada. Various diagnostics and options in there, which is kind of cool. Like having these. So the hydraulic pumps will come up once we basically go to... There we go, that's what we need to see here. Once levels come up, the hydraulic pumps will kick in. Now we need to make sure our tail wheel lock is off. We're going to need that. Now certain things don't function, like various nav modes there, which we just don't have. Now I find the manual for this a little bit is good in many ways, and that it's a great way to access the shortcuts and the various features. Cool feature here, by the way, if I pop this as open as 2D, it takes it out of the position there. But if I was to go to our aircraft page here, go to our checklists, and click on these various items, it does not take me to look at them. Which, if you don't know what an item is, it's quite difficult. So you have to constantly refer back to the manual. There are pages to show you the central console, overhead, and the main dash, explaining what each controller function is. That could take a minute to get through, but it takes time. Oh, I need to make sure I put myself into fly. There we go, and this should start to come up now. But yes, the manual is good again, but it's if you need to work out where the controls are, which can take a minute sometimes. But I think we're looking good to go. Rotor RPM's coming up. Should be good soon. As soon as that gets to green, will be fantastic. We'll better go flying the Blackhawk. Now we aren't exactly low down here. We're at Sedona, which is put us at 4,500 feet, but we should be okay. Rotor RPM is coming good. Parking brakes disengaged. I need to quickly reset my head here to make sure it's going to behave itself. That was it. It was way too high up there. And once our rotor RPM comes good, we should be fine. So it should be a matter of just nudging myself forward here. Okay, that's coming up once that's green. Can't really fudge how long this takes to do things, but it's going to need to do it. When they said they simulated this, they absolutely simulated it. Everything's as it needs to be. And it's worth it because the flight experience in this aircraft is a lot of fun. Okay, we are good on RPM. Let's go forward, shall we? Start taxiing. Now, just a little bit of stick pressure here. And a tiny bit of collective, and I can just start us rolling. Tail wheel unlocked allows me to actually steer the aircraft to the ground. Now, we're going to head to the runway just for the departure for this case, just to show you. You can have co-pilot under the crew members visible if you wish to. It's all controllable through the crew options, of course. So I'm a growing helicopter fan, and I will say it's a step up graphically and systems-wise from the Chinook. I like it. I think the Chinook had some better ways of handling various things, like its tablet functions. I don't like that down there. That bugs me. It's kind of cumbersome, especially when you're flying. But it would have been cool to use the tablet function, so I'm guessing because 2020 didn't use the same tablet, that was limiting them to do something like that. Because they probably wanted to use a tablet rather than make a tablet for both 20 and 24, and then not use that system. It seems like they chose to use that system and make a compromise between both versions. And this is maybe not their motivation, but it's what I assume. And that to me feels like a limitation of developing for both 20 and 24. Okay, we're nearly ready now. Slow down, a little bit of brake. Yeah, this always surprises me having to apply some brake when I'm taxiing a helicopter. But we should be good to go. Look at this beast. Love it. She looks pretty, she sounds great. A little bit of extra. Okay. Shall we do one? We shall do one. Okay, up we go. We are at 4,500 feet, so not super high up, but high enough to notice. Now what I do want to do is turn off the stabilizer, because the stabilizer makes this very sluggish. Yep, I'm aware. It insists on it being on, apparently. It's going to yell at me. The aircraft is very self-stabilizing. Let's go this way. Blur there from the exhaust is quite wild. Which is a stunning aircraft. Look at this thing. Let's get a little bit up close and personal to some rock, shall we? So stable. Really is a very, very gentle aircraft to fly. Oh, there we go. Big, stable, feels very, very comfortable. Obviously, we want to winch someone down from this sort of positioning, not land. There's nowhere to land. Can't even touch a wheel. But we can get nice into position here and hold ourselves. So perfect for the missions and operations. Now, I do not have their mission control center, which is like an extra £10, which will let you do various missions and objectives in this, which will be quite fun. Let's go diving down, shall we? All the way down the collector there. Oh, hello. Now, I have some experience with flying helicopters, as you all know. I'm still learning. And I find it's incredibly easy to fly. Now, I am using the Honeycomb Alpha and Bravo, so the yoke and throttles, which I'm used to. I use it for all my helicopters, so in terms of my comparative experience to what I'm used to flying, this feels very familiar. But by that standards, it's also very gentle. Very gentle. Airport should be up here, I think, or somewhere near that. I think it's on this plateau. Great place to put an airport, huh? But she's certainly a wild beast. The other variants are going to have other options, such as torpedoes and various rescue stuff for the Jayhawk. Now, where am I heading? Oh, it's right behind me. How could I get that lost? There we go. Right there. Nice and easy. Ooh, hello. So, is it expensive? It's on the border of what I'd call a reasonable price. £30 is pretty good. $37. The functionality is excellent. Systems and just clickability. I'd have liked something better than that control panel in there because it get a little guffy, but it's not terrible. There are worse systems. But it's certainly, yeah, certainly a very gentle aircraft to operate. You could abuse her and you could throw her around, but she's going to forgive you in many cases. There's the airport. Now we'll go for a quick stop here. Throw the brakes out once we get over top. There we go. Oh, there we go. Popped up a little more than I'd like. But, God, this thing is great fun. I love it. Fantastic aircraft to fly. Very controllable, very manageable. Still a bit sideways. There we go. A little bit too much. Go forwards. Try to actually stabilize this out and just do little inputs here. There we go. Forward we go. We're onto the far pad over there. Should be some spaces to our 12. And we could do a rolling landing, which we'll do on this taxiway because I'm feeling lazy. Tail wheel touchdown, main wheel touchdown. Brakes. Oh, that's grass. Nope, that's not grass. We could also hover taxi if we really insist on it. Oh, sorry, there we go. A little bit of... Nope, not into a car. Oh, I do like to make a hash of the local parked vehicles, don't I? Okay. Don't need to hover taxi, but can. There we go. Nicely done. And pop those. Now the rotor brakes you do need to bind to actually get them to function because they are right here. But we'll shut the engine down either way. So what are we getting and what do we is it worth? Oh, that's... Why am I up here? Why am I crouching up in the sky? This is new. Am I on the rotor disc? I don't know where I am. Okay. Oh, hi. I am a god. And I'm on the ground. Something's weird. There's some sort of building or something invisible here that I can't see. That is making life interesting. If you like helicopters, absolutely worth buying. Highly recommend. If you don't, but you like the Blackhawk and you're not sure if you can fly it very well, I think it's a fantastic try because it will fly very well for you. And it will certainly give you a good introduction. Not particularly complicated to start and operate. Well worth a crack. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.